Over the course of the last 12 months at Honiton Family Church, we've been blessed to see God move in a number of different ways. We've seen the church grow, we've seen God add to our number, we've seen people become Christians for the first time through some evangelistic outreaches that we have done. We've had 7 baptisms over the course of the last 12 months. We're really excited that we've got another 2 coming up this Easter time as well. And our work among children and young people has expanded over the course of our last year. So we're really thankful for the way God has used us, for the way God has moulded us and transformed us and has guided us into the things which He's called us to do this year. I think one of the highlights for me over the last 12 months has to be our last baptism service. We had 2 baptisms which were planned for that day. And over the course of the week before, I just felt God say that we should plan for some more baptisms and not just the 2 baptisms that we had. So I went up to Primark and I bought some cheap clothes and took some towels along to church that morning. And we had an amazing service. And at the end of the service, we gave the option for anyone else that wanted to be baptised as well. And we had 2 more come out and be baptised that morning. And it was such a thrill for the church to see God move in that kind of way, to be prompting people to follow Him and take that step of obedience into baptism. It's great to be able to talk about some of the highlights of what has gone on over the course of the last 12 months at Honiton Family Church. But there's been some real tough times and some real low points as well. One of the biggest low points, I guess, for us as a church is that within the last 12 months, we had a very generous donation from someone given to the church specifically for the task of youth work, which enabled us to employ a youth worker for the basis of a year. And that's what we did. We got someone in back in July last year. And unfortunately for us, that situation unravelled very quickly. And we unfortunately had to part ways with that youth worker in January, which was an incredibly painful time for us as a leadership team, for the church as a whole, and for the young people. But even in the midst of the pain that has gone on at times at Honiton Family Church this year, we can really testify to the grace of God and the faithfulness of God, and the fact that even in those tough times and those hard times, God has been able to walk through it with us and kept us close to Him. Like everywhere, we have hopes and visions and dreams for what is to come over the course of the next 12 months. We want to see our work among our children and young people expand and grow. We want to see more people come to know Jesus for the first time. We have seen some growth, but the majority of that has been transference growth, and we want to see people engage with the gospel for the very first time. And we're looking at ways in which we can engage the town more and more with the good news of Jesus Christ this year. One of the things which we're really excited about, which is coming up, is a conference we're hosting called the Encounter Conference. We have quite a poor congregation in many respects, people with maybe large families but not a lot of money, and when we've talked in the past about going away together as a congregation to things like Spring Harvest or New Wine or even doing a church weekend away, it simply wasn't feasible for many people in the church because they couldn't afford it. So we thought, what if we could do something locally which was going to cost less but be just as effective, which would not only benefit us as a church but benefit other congregations as well. I'm sure there are many people who fall into the same category as what we do. So we want to put on a weekend which is specifically designed to reach as many people as possible for the lowest cost. It's on the 18th to the 20th of May. We would love to invite you to come and join us. If you want to know more about it, there's a website, www.encounterconference.co.uk. Do go and take a look at it and sign up if you feel that you would like to and are able to. So a few prayer points for Honiton Family Church. We would love for you to pray for our conference in May. Pray that it has a big impact on the church, on the town, Pray that it's a real blessing to other congregations who are going to be joining us as well. We would love to see God move in miraculous ways over the course of that weekend. So also pray for us for this year as we seek to bring new leaders onto our leadership team. One of my heart's passions for the year is that we raise up men and women of God who are going to take the church forward for years to come and be used mightily by God in our town. And do continue to pray that God supplies all of our needs according to his riches and glory.